Hello, everybody. My hair's a little messy today. A little crazy, so I'm throwing on a hat to help me keep it under control. How goes? Now, I'm going to be honest. This is the pregame. This is the pregame. Because if you want me to be completely honest with you, I just hooked myself up with a sandwich here. And we're going to let you guys watch a retro video display of different games that I have available here on this Raspberry Pi as I eat this bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich from a local place called Heavenly Donuts. And that's where we're at, folks. How are you guys doing today? Good afternoon. Yeah. How's your day? Anybody have anything they want to talk about while I'm eating? Entertain me and keep me, hold on. Keep me entertained while I'm eating, like I keep so many of you guys entertained. I have everything full screen on the computer now so I can see. If my chewing becomes unbearable, say put yourself on fucking mute when you chew, you rude son of a bitch. And yes, I prefer poppy seed bagels, even with strawberry cream cheese. They're amazing. It's the best bagel. If you see any of these games that you find interesting, maybe childhood memories, feel free to drop a comment. We're doing something different today. So many people are so lost in today that I want to go over some games of the past and maybe try to remind you guys what our world used to be like before the backwards thinking came about. And while I'm doing that, enjoying myself playing video games. So, should be a good time. If you're just joining us late, this is the pregame. I'm eating my sandwich. We're going to get started and get down to brass tacks. Maybe 5 minutes or so. I just want to eat this bacon, egg, and cheese. Here's what we got available to us today. These are all the platforms. So we got a lot here to take a look at. And games from all over the world, mind you. Like I said, it should be fun. I did download Warzone. I'm down to play starting tomorrow. I like it. My guy, Kenny Costa. Thank you, my friend. Eating some food. Steve, I like it. Tomorrow is Friday. We're going to have an all-nighter. We'll probably get some Warzone in at some point. It might have been Road Rash, one of my favorite games ever. I have Road Rash on here. If Road Rash didn't come up, it's on here. We're going to talk about some old video games today before the world became backwards. We're going to show you what it used to be like to believe and to think in America. What used to be normal, okay? And not in a bad way. In a very good, normal, realistic way. And we're also going to show you games from elsewhere in the world. And we're going to show you how these people think and believe and feel is normal. And then we're going to talk about today. And we're going to work this. This is all because I wanted to play my Raspberry Pi, and I'm trying to find a way to stream it and still send a message and make it a positive message that's going to help wake people up. Because I woke up this morning And if this young lady is watching, she's going to know it's her. I received a text message that was very disturbing. And I'm actually going to read the text message once I'm done with my sandwich. But good afternoon, everybody. Happy Thursday. If you see any games that stand out, like I said, make sure you talk about them. What kind of sandwich? It is, in fact, a bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel that came from Heavenly Donuts. Unfortunately, it came very early this morning before I was awake and ready to eat it. I had a tough time sleeping last night because me and Jamie went out for our 9-year anniversary. And although every restaurant we tried to go to was overpacked, we ended up at Chili's. And when we went to Chili's, it was delicious. I just want to say, not a sponsor, but Chili's has never done us wrong. If you ask me and Jamie, we have an inside joke. We are Chili's people, we say, because they always do us good. And last night, I had their Texas fries, which are cheese, bacon, and french fries, along with a chicken bacon ranch quesadilla. And both were absolutely phenomenal. I ate so much, and I ended it with what they call a paradise pie, which is a blondie brownie with some caramel and coconut. Basically the blondie version of those Girl Scout cookies with the caramel and the coconut on it, but a blondie brownie version with vanilla ice cream on top, chocolate fudge, and caramel. Fucking amazing. That's how I ended my night, but I could barely sleep. So I reheated this sandwich in the air fryer with only the egg and bacon cooking for the most part, which got all my bacon crispy. And, it's fucking delicious, so I'm gonna go crush it right now, and then we're gonna get to brass tacks, as I like to say today. Hey, listen. I could have eaten this first and came on sooner, but where other people like to put up a fucking countdown and like to have that starting soon, lasting forever, I do that starting soon, so it's my fucking thumbnail. I'm not trying to sit there and have you wait on a stream watching a fucking starting soon logo. I'd like you to come in, make a chat, tell me hello, like the stream so I know you're here. If you don't want to type anything, your name will come up. This person liked the stream. We got some cool new things going on if you weren't here yesterday. Head over to YouTube or head over to FromTheBottomOfTheRabbitHole.com to get the YouTube stream. If you want to watch it on your TV, maybe you don't have Facebook videos that play on your TV, but you do have a YouTube app. FromTheBottomOfTheRabbitHole.com will get you access to the YouTube stream. Kenny Costa has liked the stream. Thank you very much, bud. But get access to the YouTube stream so you can throw it on your TV, still play on your phone. Trying to be accountable for everybody. If you guys want to share the stream too, that'd be great. Like I said, I have no idea where I'm going with this today. Very faint idea. But I know the point I'm trying to prove. Now, you good. Thank you very much, Kenny. Now, as I'm eating my sandwich, I want to ask a question, everybody listening. What happens if you do not learn from history? There is a saying, and I would like to know what that saying is, guys. What happens if you do not learn from history? There's so much fucking bacon. Like it's all bacon. Like it's barely any egg. Poppy seed bagel. Like, I'm the only guy you know who would complain about too much bacon, but at this stage of my life, give me some egg and cheese, man. You will be doomed to repeat it. If you do not learn from history, people, you will be doomed to repeat it. What the fuck happened? Here we go. I have control over these clips, too. To a degree. Now, obviously, I'm not here to talk about kangaroo. Give me a second. I just put the sandwich down. I needed that. I also still have half of my chicken bacon ranch quesadillas from last night. That is, in fact, going to be my dinner. So. And I'm also not guaranteeing you that every second of this stream today is going to be educational. But you bet your ass I'm going to be educational before we have any fun. Because quite frankly, you can't learn until... I mean, you can't have fun until you've learned something. So, I'm going to focus on me for a sec. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the stream today. Welcome to the show. Welcome, whatever we're going to call it. I'm going to call it a show because I'm a fucking entertainer and I'm a ham. Steve Lafontaine is liked. Thank you very much, motherfucker. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, except for maybe motherfucker. I'll curb that one a little bit, but I definitely am appreciated that you liked the stream, I'm assuming, on YouTube, which is excellent. I need to get some traction on that YouTube stream. If it was up to me, I'd suggest everyone that's on Facebook to hop on over to from the bottom of the rabbithole.com and actually watch on YouTube and get the YouTube stream popping, but then the Facebook will have none. But, you know, again, it's two of this. It's whatever's convenient for you. That's why I streamed everything. But this morning, I woke up to a series of text messages. And my communications with this person, who I am going to leave anonymous, are very important to me because this person represents people to me that see that something is wrong and see that something is going on, but don't know what it is, or they're afraid to say something about it because of the reaction that they'll get. But it was stated to me, I will say, look at what my grandfather sent me yesterday. That was how it started. And then it goes into a text message. But it's actually not. It's a Facebook status. What it says, this was shared by a friend. Worth a read. I advise you to read this. Just a little history lesson. Now, I would have already posted this on my Facebook, okay? But because it wasn't sent to me as a message, I don't have the ability to copy and paste it or simply share it. But what I can do is read it to you here verbatim on this stream. I have a feeling that my words might be even stronger than reading it yourself, okay? Anyone who is younger than 60 years old should be aware of what former Soviet Prime Minister Nikita Khrushchev said during an address to the United Nations in 1959. And I quote, "Your children's children will live under communism. You Americans are so gullible. No, you won't accept communism outright, but we will keep feeding you small doses of socialism until you will finally wake up and find you already have communism. End quote. Now, I'm going to continue reading, but that concept is called incrementalism, okay? It is the slow, methodic changes done over time where no one will oppose the small changes that are taking place, whereas if you put your entire agenda together, they would refuse the entirety of your agenda. However, with the small incremental changes done effectively through using the media by causing a problem and offering the solution, people accept these small changes. And this is happening right now. Okay? Back to the thing. We will not have to fight you. This is still his quote. We will not have to fight you. We will so weaken your economy until you will fall like overripe fruit into our hands. The democracy will cease to exist when you take away from those who are willing to work and give you those who would not. It was September 29th, 1959, when Nikita Khrushchev, and by the way, September 29th, 1959, Nikita Khrushchev. If you guys can find this speech in video form, drop it in the comments. I will play the video before we get into any games and taking a look at the American lifestyle back in the 80s and 90s. But, hold on. It was September 29th, 1959, when Nikita Khrushchev delivered his prediction for America at the United Nations. And this person writes, I was just not him banging his shoe on the podium. At that time, just the word communism was feared throughout our nation, people. This is something that we watched destroy and ravage other nations of people. Communism was a scary word in this country. If you came out and talked about communism, you were shunned like people who have conservative American views today. Pro-American views are being shunned because they've lied to you and convinced you that pro-American views are Hitler-esque, when we all know Hitler was a national socialist, which is, again, not communism, but it all ends the same way. We'll get into that in a second. All right, ready? Communism was feared throughout our nation. Remember this, socialism leads to communism. How do you create a socialist state? There are 8 levels of control. I want to say these 8 levels, and I want you all to take an honest thought, an honest look inside of yourself and think about where we are today in the world, in our lives, and think about these 8 levels of socialistic control before you make a response. I remember teaching you that term. Incrementalism. Yes, Steve, 100%. You did teach me that term. That is a fact. 100%. And I hope I used it correctly, which I'm sure I did because you taught it to me well. But healthcare. Control the healthcare and you control the people. Again, if you want to go back to something else Steve taught me, when Obamacare was passed, Steve came by and I said, hey, Steve, Obamacare was passed. Isn't this great? And he goes, no. And I go, why? I mean, isn't that a good thing? Everyone's going to have health care now. You know, this is when I believed in Obama. I believed that there was going to be something different about Barack Obama. Don't ask me why, but I did, okay? And Steve goes, no. And I go, why? And he goes, because it starts out as, yeah, we're going to pay for your health care. But then it turns into, but yeah, you have to go to the doctor that we want, and you have to get tested, and you have to get a vaccine, and you have to get this treatment done, and you have to do it by our rules. If they're controlling your healthcare, you're dependent on them. Anytime you're dependent on the government for anything, it is bad. You need to be independent. Independence Day, July 4th. Remember the day that they shit on? Because independence is what they fear. People being independent, okay? So remember that. Dependence, bad. Independence, good. In every sense of the word, okay? Step 1, healthcare. Control healthcare. You control the people. 2, poverty. Increase the poverty level as high as possible. Poor people are easier to control and will not fight back if you are providing everything for them. Isn't that the truth? Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Everyone, read the 10 planks of the Communist Manifesto. We're already under almost all of them. That's kind of what this is saying. But the 10 planks of the Communist Manifesto, if you want to go read by yourself, go right ahead. For everyone who just joined in, hello. Today's a bit of a history lesson. We're going to go back to the past like the angry video game nerd. Because once I'm done doing this, we're going to play some retro video games. And we're going to take a look at what American culture used to be and how great it used to be living in America. The way people used to think living in America, and also some of the other places in the world. What if there's no hand to bite? There is a hand. That's the government. They're the ones feeding us. That's the point. They're the ones feeding the impoverished. On to 3, debt. Increase the debt to an unsustainable level. Predatory credit cards and school loans. That way, you're able to increase taxes, and this will produce more poverty. 4, and this is the big one that I think we all know, gun control. Remove the ability to defend themselves from the government. That way, you are able to create a police state, which is obvious. I mean, I don't even think I have to do a history lesson on this one to tell you Hitler took the guns, Mao took the guns, the communist Russians took the guns, Venezuela, you name the country, they took the guns. You name the communist, you name the dictator, they took the guns first. It's first thing in, dictator takes guns. That's why I don't understand how Donald Trump is a dictator when he's fighting for us to have our guns. It makes no sense. 5, welfare. Take control of every aspect, food, housing, income of their lives, because that will make them fully dependent on the government. Okay? Bobby, sorry, just joining. No, Bobby, I'm very glad to hear about it. These are the steps to establish communism. I have been dying to talk about this. This is a history lesson. If you do not learn from this lesson, people, you are doomed to repeat it. And Bobby, if you're just joining, thank you for joining. Like the BG from the bottom of the rabbit hole page. Like the video. A little zombie will come on screen. And not only that, head over to fromthebottomoftherabbithole.com and check out the YouTube feed. And also go ahead to my YouTube and like and hit the bell on YouTube so you get notifications and don't have to rely through Facebook. Number 7, religion. Very interesting with religion where we are today, huh? With, who went to church recently? Who's been to church? Oh, yeah, wait. Haha, there it is. Rami Abdallah, like the stream. There's his zombie. Religion. Remove the belief in God from the government in schools because the people need to believe in only the government knowing what is best for the people. You need to convince the people that the government is in your best interest. This is key to having a ruling government. You have to convince the people to give them your power and convince the people that the government has your best interest in mind. Unfortunately, it is not the case. The Constitution was written to protect us from a government that got too big and had too much control over us. Through incrementalism over the years, slowly but surely, we have lost a lot of that, and we are in the process of rolling back these things and getting back our freedoms due to patriots being in the government right now. Number 8, and this is the big one, people. Pay attention. And by the way, this person just sent me a message right now whose text I'm reading. And I assure you, person, I have not mentioned your name, and I am not discussing anything that we've discussed. I am simply just using this one Facebook message as a history lesson because it was very important for me to do so. Me and this person have a very special relationship that I genuinely cherish. It's different than my relationship with anyone else because of this person's perspective and a unique situation involving this person. She is a very unique individual, and I cherish everything she has to say about what's going on in the world. Number 8, pay attention, folks. Class warfare. This is the key catalyst. Divide people into the wealthy and the poor. Eliminate the middle class. This will cause more discontent, and it will be easier to tax the rich with the support of the poor. Here is our scary future. 6 of those levels are already being pushed. Are you awake? All of these levels are being worked on, including erasing history, destroying monuments now. Another thing that happens when tyrants take over. They remove the police and put their own henchmen in place. Sound familiar? Are you awake? I pray that you are. People, this is real life. This is real life. Okay? Now, I'm not going to go on and share anything else. I actually just read your Facebook messages live on my stream, I did not mention your name or anything else we discuss, period. But I greatly thank you for that Facebook post today because you helped me provide all of the viewers with an excellently worded history lesson that I have been dying to share, period. And now I'm going to invite this person to join the stream if she would like. But with that being said, okay, this is the world that we are currently living in. They are actively working at taking away your freedom, people. This is real life, okay? America is not about these things. America does not represent racism. America does not represent inequality. There is no such thing as the rich ruling the poor. This is a false narrative, okay? All the rich people are people who are extremely successful. And every rich person, they have to give opportunities to poor people, aka jobs, enabling poor people to bring home money and eventually work their way up the corporate ladder and either save their money and invest in their own business, learn from the business that they're working through and take that and apply it to starting their own business, or rise to the top of the company and begin to be one of the people who's a boss making decisions for that company. Okay? Every single company started out as a mom and pop, whether it's Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Citibank, you name it. You know, Walmart, they all, maybe not Walmart. I believe it did though. I believe at some level, Walmart and Sam Walton started out with a small, humble business. It became completely successful and he grew and he grew and he grew and here we are. Facebook, Google, they all started small. No company starts as a multi-billion-dollar company, okay? They all have to earn it. They have the same opportunity that we all have. They are trying to take that away. Government control is never the answer. Government control is never the solution. Giving the government control will not help you. It will only hurt you. Have you checked out Chasing the White Rabbit? No, but if you have a video link, drop it in the stream. Maybe we'll watch it after we switch to something that, Kevin, I know you're a fan of because we talked about it yesterday. And something that I kind of want to go over today, which is some video games. Now, if you're saying to yourself, you know, Brian, how in the world are you going to show me history from video games? How are you going to teach me historical significance through the use of video games? It's about culture, okay? The culture of America right now states that there is so much that we can do and that we cannot do. And we're such a racist country and we're so evil. I'm here to shatter that myth, okay? The reason that they want to, I figured this out recently the other day. The reason it's so important to tear down history, to tear down Civil War statues, to try to erase racism from our history, they don't want you to realize that we've already had a fight and we've already had a war to give everybody equality. They're trying to convince you that we're not equal. But if that's the case, what was the Civil War about? What are the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments about? And not only that, but the reason they're pulling down all these Confederate generals, they were Democrats. They were Democrats, people. Every single person that fought for the Confederacy was a Democrat. The Democrats grew out of that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Make it more specific and more accurate if what I'm saying is not correct and somebody knows what I'm saying. But what I'm telling you is what I believe to be the truth. And if I'm wrong, go do the research. You'll find out yourself. Don't believe me. Maybe I am wrong. Do the research yourself. True. Thank you, Kevin. Because it's correct. And they're trying to tear down this history. They're trying to make you believe that Democrats have your best interest in mind. They don't. They want you to believe that this country has been racist for years. But see, I'm going to go ahead to shatter that narrative through the use of some video games. Now, Brian, how in the world are you going to use video games to show me that we're not racist as people? There are a bunch of different ways. And again, you can look at things in a different way. But other than the fact that going back forever, there's been male characters, female characters, black characters, white characters, Asian characters, characters that represent culture all across video games, okay? And none greater of an example that I can find than, let's get to arcade games. Arcade classics. Hold on. We got to go a long way down here, people. It's a long list, and I'm going all the way to S. Okay? But, and it better be here. It better not have to go look somewhere else. But there is no better example than a game that every single man, woman, and child has heard of at least once. And this game is Street Fighter 2. Okay? Or in this case, where I'm going to, Super Street Fighter 2. I don't like it with the turbo. I like it with Street Fighter 2 regular because the turbo's a little bit fast. I'm running Wolfenos. Yes, I am running Wolfenos. I like it. It's a good, it was well packed with the right ROMs. It had a nice UI, and this is on my Pi 4. I have a 3B Plus as well. I have a 4 gigabyte Pi 4 that I'm running this off of. If you're a tech guy or you're a video game guy. I'm also playing using my PlayStation controller and an 8BitDo Bluetooth adapter that is plugged into the Raspberry Pi. I know it has Bluetooth connectivity. However, I feel like this Bluetooth adapter is more convenient, allows me to switch between this and the Nintendo Switch, and it also has a little less lag, which I'm going to deal with extra lag, seeing as we have a thing. But I want you to take a look here, okay? Because like I said, this is about culture. This game is called Super Street Fighter 2, but originally, this game is called Street Fighter 2 The World Warrior, okay? And the reason this game is called The World Warrior, I want you to take a look here. We have the Japanese man, another Japanese sumo wrestler, culture. A man from Brazil who's green, he doesn't represent culture. The American soldier, Guile, from the USA. American boxer, a black man. Ken, the American martial artist. Chun-Li, Chinese female martial artist. USSR, Zangief, the Russian wrestler. Okay? Shit. I'm restarting because I want that character select screen. I don't just want to play. I want to go over every character, and I want to explain to you that diversity has always been here. Not just in our media. I like the bezels. I'm running that same 128. I'm running this on a 256. That's why I have the video snaps, and I have a large PlayStation 1 and Dreamcast collection on this. But I like the bezels. I don't want to remove the bezels. I did that once upon a time, and I decided that I like them, Kevin, but I appreciate you letting me know. Now, let me go ahead and make this large on my screen so I can have a better screen of what you guys are talking about here. All right. Here we go. Ice. Okay. I'm not sure what Ice was. Let's go back, though. Dalsim, from India, okay? He is a yogi practitioner. He stretches. It's a little bit inaccurate, but it still represents culture. Thailand, the Thai boxer, Sagat, okay? M. Bison, also from Thailand, but he is more of a soldier, general, ruling class type guy. Cammy from England, another soldier, okay? DJ from Jamaica, a fighter. Also, oh man, son of a bitch. With this slowing me down here. Pumping these quarters in as fast as possible. I'm just trying to point out, and this is one game, but I'm trying to point out that we have had diversity here in our culture, in our media, for many years. They're lying to you, making you think that we are not a diverse culture. And this game was made in Japan, but again, it was very popular in America. Fei Long from Hong Kong, a.k.a. the Bruce Lee type, martial artist. T-Hawk from Mexico, a Native American, a.k.a. an Indian. I don't know what you would call an Indian from Mexico, Native American. There he is, T-Hawk. And then Vega from Spain, another example of ethnicity being shown. You know, and all these fighters have unique fighting styles with the exception of these two. They're all different characters. You know, they come from different places. This is the way things are. You can go back and look at any game. You can go back and look at soccer games, which again, feature people, all different races, all different nationalities. Sports games, but you might think that's cheating. Obviously, you have Superman, but he's Superman. He fights aliens. That's a bit different of a story. But again, I'm just trying to go through a few different examples here. Let's go back to Famicom. Let's take a look at Japan. Now, Japan, nobody thinks Japan is racist, right? Am I wrong? How many games did you install? 0. They were all pre-installed. I got a pre-installed pack from Arcade Punks. It has probably over 10,000. Let me take a look for you. If you're wondering how many games I have on this bad boy, the number is 12,389 games. Over 12,000 games. 989. So 13 games away from 13,000 games, okay? Well, let's take a look. Now that I'm starting to talk about this, Ninja Gaiden, yes, now that I'm starting to talk about this, though, I'm sure some of you are realizing, hey, he's right. We have had diversity. We have had culture. We have had all of this throughout. None of these games are evil. None of these games are portraying slavery. Let's go back and look at a few other games. Let's look at some games for the Nintendo Entertainment System. A lot of these are made in Japan. Some came out in Japan or America. Both, I mean. But, I mean, these are you have games with monsters. Tom Sawyer, we all know that there's a little bit of racism in that book. But again, that's a story written many, many years ago. All right, but I'm trying to just think. American Gladiators. Again, the concept of American Gladiators. Men, women, black, white. Everyone was included. There was full diversity. There was equality. This is from the 80s, people. This is from the 80s. This is real life. All of these people existed in your media. Racism is not something that... I heard somebody say it best. Racism was on life support, and the Democrats are working hard to bring it back to life. But it's not a real thing. Let's take a look more. Arch Rivals, a made-up basketball game, okay? Totally fake with a bunch of fake characters. Just look at what we have on the screen there. Black people, white people. When you go in the game, there are Asian people. There are all types of different races and ethnicities of people represented in all of these games. These are games made in the 80s, okay? Made in the 80s. Nobody thought any different of it. Nobody thought any different of these games. You know why? Because we have always, for as many years back as I can remember, and I was born in 1983, we have accepted everybody, okay? These games don't change. They haven't been whitewashed, okay? You need to understand that. Now, again, you're going to have games like Battletoads where you're not dealing with people, but then you have games like Double Dragon, Billy and Jimmy, two Americans who decided to adopt martial arts and the, wherever it was, the Japanese, the Chinese culture that they did, but they're American martial artists, okay? I'm going to take this fucking hat off because I hate it. If you got a problem with it, sue me. But just listen to what I'm saying. My hair's going to be a little wild right now. I'm going to brush it just for the sake of brushing it. I am having a wild hair day today, no doubt. Arcade 1UP will have Wi-Fi in all cabinets from here on so we can play with other countries. Absolutely, and that's phenomenal. The NBA Jam cabinet has already had that. But I want to go take a look here. Best of the best. Again, Not actually based on the movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme, but if you play the game, then it was actually a different game that was made to be best of the best, but again, represents all cultures, all races of people. This is just commonplace, folks. This is commonplace, okay? And I'm using the idea of this to be able to show you guys that this is nothing new. Let's take a look at PlayStation, okay? Let's take a look at a great game for PlayStation that we all like. Where is it? Tekken 3, okay? Now, I don't know if I did what the necessary things I needed to do to unlock all of the characters, but we're going to take a look at just the characters that are here unlocked. Hopefully, I have them all. I know I do on my 3B+. But just so you guys are aware, and anything you guys want to add to this about what I'm talking about, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if we haven't been seeing diversity. Tell me if we think that video games have been racist, because they haven't been. Nothing has been. Okay? Nothing has been. They are manipulating you. Our country is inclusive to everyone. Culture in America is inclusive to everyone. Arcade mode. Let's hope they don't give me a timer. They do. Okay, and I don't have all the characters, but look. A cyborg, American woman, Hong Kong man, Asian man, black man, white man. He's a wrestler from Japan, represents Tiger Mask. Jackie Chan, and another Japanese man. This game's heavily Japanese influenced, but again, we could go on, I could show you the rest of the characters, and there's a bunch of other archetypes, which they'd be called. You remember beating everyone at work with Tekken when they had it? Yes, I do. I do love Tekken, and I happen to be pretty good at it. And I'm not going to sit here and grind on Tekken at the moment because I want to get something educational and a history lesson on this video before we go ahead and I spend the rest of the video having fun and playing old video games. Okay? Even Tomb Raider, when this game first started, Lara Croft, if you play Tomb Raider 1, you're not even killing bad guys. You're killing animals. You're killing bears and wolves. That's who the enemies were. Black was man favorite. I don't know exactly what that means, Kevin. You might want to go ahead and type that a little better, because the meaning of what you just said there didn't exactly resonate with me. I don't understand how to reciprocate that. But Tony Hawk. Let's go to Tony Hawk 4. Let's take a look at the list of skaters that they have. I don't even know who it was, but I guarantee you it is a very diverse cast of characters, okay? I guarantee you that it is not all white people, all white men. I don't know if there's women, but I guarantee you it's not all white men. We're going to let this start out. Here we go. Black. Oh, okay, Black was my favorite character. All right, excellent. Yes. On what game? Black was your favorite character on what game? Single session. Pro skaters. Tony Hawk. I can't see. Okay. I don't know who that is. Black man. Looks like a white guy. White guy. White guy. White guy. White guy. I don't know if that's because the graphics are terrible, but he might be Asian. I can't tell. I don't know too much about skateboarders. Maybe a white guy. A woman. Is this guy like a Mexican wrestler? He looks like he's wearing a mask. And then Bob Burnquist, white guy. But I don't know about Steve Cabello either. But he might be a white guy as well. But again, there was some level of diversity in this game, is my point. There were no black people excluded. I don't know how many black skaters there were that were famous at this point that should have been included and were snubbed, but I can tell you that all of them were not snubbed, which is a fact. Okay? We can go even further. We can look at cool borders. We can look at anything involving people. But the point I'm trying to make here, and again, I just threw this on for the moment because that was the history lesson that I had in mind to be able to share with you guys, is that can't wait for the PS5. I am very excited for the PS5 as well. I will not be getting an Xbox. I am a PlayStation person, and I will rock a Nintendo console so long as it has something to offer me that's different. I did not have a DS. I did not buy a Wii U. I absolutely love my Nintendo Switch. There's no question about this. However, people, communism will take this away. All of these games come from independence. All of these games come from different people with different minds making different video games, okay? Today, you have about maybe 6 companies that make most of the AAA video games, and then everything else is looked at as an indie game sold for pennies on the dollar. I want to play you. I like it, Kevin. We will be friends. Hey, Juice the God is my name on PS4. I'll type it into a chat for you. So it comes up on the screen. It's right there, Juice the God, in the PayPal address at the bottom. That is my PlayStation name. If you want to go ahead, send me a request on PlayStation. That's the PlayStation handle, Juice DA God. So it's on screen already for you. I don't have to do anything. But all this comes from independent thought. This comes from independent people, okay? People who had ideas. People who wanted to create successful video game companies, to make successful video games, to create the best video game and compete with the others to sell the most copies. This is the idea of what capitalism is, okay? Socialism is when the government gets control of these industries. We don't want that. That is bad. Because then we do not have free thought. We do not have free competition. We don't have free imagination. We have a certain line of thinking, and that's it. You know, so this is something that people need to remember, not just in November when you're casting your votes against Democrats who are trying to do this, not just for the president, because it is very important. Your local elections and your representatives at this point are even more important than the president. Because if there's a red wave and we have a 2/3 majority in the House and the Senate, but Joe Biden's the president, they're going to have a tough time passing laws and passing policy. He's going to be relied to only executive orders. And let's be honest, he's not very good at writing things up. I like that. I may go ahead and send you a friend request. I'm probably not going to be able to do it live on stream because I would have to switch over to my PlayStation and it would be a boring few minutes. But if you happen to sign on and send me one, I'm all about it. And when I get yours from that name, I will accept it. But the point I'm trying to make here, people, and this is very simple. You got to understand, this is a reality. Yes, Trump will win again. I agree with you. And just like we watched here on the stream yesterday, socialism will never, never take over this country. But that's because there's people like me here fighting it. There's people like me here telling people, if the mob had their way, they would silence me. They would silence me like I was Dr. Stella Emanuel. They would silence me and they would not let me speak. And they would not let me air my grievances. Okay? But this is not the case. We are losing viewers because I am telling people that Trump is going to be victorious in the election and we are not going to have socialism. But I am not going to let that deter me. I am not going to let that deter me, nor have I, nor will I. Okay? I am here to open people's eyes. I am not here to be your news. I am here to teach you how to look at news. I am not here to be your researcher. I am here to teach you how to research. I can be your researcher on certain things, but I'm not always going to be here forever. What if I die? What if I get hit with COVID and because I refuse to go to the hospital and I refuse to get treatment because I'm not confident that any doctor I go to will prescribe me hydroxychloroquine and they might give me something that's less effective and therefore cause me to die because they get more money from insurance if I die under their care? What if I pass away from COVID? My teaching and my word is here on these videos. This is my legacy. And every single one of you needs to remember that every single time you post on social media, every single time you interact with someone else. If you hear someone say something that is inherently wrong and you say or do nothing about it, you are complicit in the behavior. You are enabling the silence of common sense. We cannot enable the silence of common sense. I'm also thinking of coming up with some merchandise, okay? I want to come up with a hat that says, "Make thought great again." I want to have a t-shirt in big letters that says, "I'm cognitively independent and damn proud of it." These are things that are going through my brain. Let me know what you think about things like this, because I want to put things out there to help people show, hey, I am a free thinker. I am cognitively independent. Be a thinker, not a believer. Also a shirt I'm going to put out, possibly. It's all a matter of making these designs and learning Photoshop, which I'm planning on doing over the next few weeks. We have less than 100 days before the election, people. Less than 100 days. We can't even go around our friends. This is why the lockdown is so important. The reason they want to lock us down is not because of COVID, people. The reason they want to lock us down is because the backwards ideas that they're pumping into our society, okay, are so backwards and so far-fetched. Defund the police. No normal human being thinks this is okay. But they're so far-fetched and so backward that they think if we don't get into the same room and we don't have the opportunity to actually discuss this with our friends and family who disagree with it, then these thoughts will never be challenged. I'm here to say that's wrong. I'm here to say my friends and family are going to come and listen to me. I'm here to say that the people I care about are going to lend me an ear. We are going to have these conversations. And you know what's going to happen after these conversations? The people that listen to me are going to understand how important this is, my passion in this. I'm hoping it rubs off on you. I'm hoping that you will go and you'll comment on that thread that you weren't going to comment on. That you'll start the conversation with that family member or that loved one, and you'll be strong in your beliefs. You'll do the research because we've talked about how to do the research and where to go to do the research, and you'll share the research. You can share my videos. That's why I make them all publicly available. Get people to listen. Get people to pay attention. Because as of right now, there is a large portion of people whose attention is locked onto the media. Locked in. Going for the ride, for better or for worse. And it is a roller coaster. There are people for the last 4 years, you hear it on TV and everywhere. We live in a crazy world, crazy times. It's not fucking crazy. It's crazy because the media keeps telling everybody it's crazy, and the brainwashed people believe it. Don't be a sheep. Be a leader. Be a sheep herder. You heard what I read earlier. Okay? They want to destroy the middle class. Why? Heather, I'm trying to wake my friends. Excellent. Go ahead and share the video. I'll help you. I will help you. Tag them and bring them into one of these. Tell them to challenge me. Tell them to challenge me. Tell your friends to come and watch this. Share the YouTube link. Share the website. Tell them to join in a live stream and to make a comment and challenge me. Tell them to post an article that's going to shut me down and Drumpf is done today. And I'll go through it and I'll show people that they're not looking at it the right way. Because each and every time in my experience, I've found that to be the case. Each and every time. You got to understand, people, we only get one shot at this. We get one shot at this crazy thing we have called freedom, okay? As soon as we give it up, especially if we give it up voluntarily, we are never getting it back, people. It is lost forever. Forever. Okay? I'm sitting here in my room right now, in my bedroom, where I sleep, where I live, where my lovely fiance, my soulmate, my partner, lies next to me every day. And I have a video game console on with 13,000 video games that I built myself because of the freedom that the internet in America provides me. May there be some legalities? Possibly. But you guys don't know about my video game collection. I might have the most amazing video game collection and these are all my backups or copies of my backups, or I don't own any video games. But, wait, BG, you mean you have to read more than the headline? Absolutely, Rami. On both sides. Because there's always more than the headline. Here's the thing. You can't sue someone for libel or slander or defamation based on a headline if the truth is in the article. So the truth will always be in the article, or else these people will be held responsible for libel. I don't even need to go to other news sources. I can look at CNN's own article and tell you why they're lying to you. That's why CNN's articles are so long and actual news is very short. Because a real news article that's being honest only needs 2 paragraphs to tell you what's happened. 3 paragraphs. The first one's the intro. The second one tells you what happened. The third one tells you what might happen in the future based on it. You know, like the changes that were made here are going to affect school and yada, yada, and yada, yada. But when you have 19, 20 paragraphs in an article, it's propaganda. They want you to read the whole article because they're trying to stuff an opinion on you. Okay? Heather, I already did. I was in a head-to-head with one of my husband's friends last night about Biden being a pedophile. That one should be easy. Although here's the thing. We don't have videos of him fucking children. And as long as there's no videos of him fucking children, if you don't want to believe it and you choose to be blind to it, then you will be. So what you should be arguing about Biden is that he has dementia. Because that one's easy to see. We have videos of that. He's clearly not competent to run the country. Clearly. There's a reason he doesn't do public speaking. There's a reason he doesn't talk by himself for more than 10 minutes. There's a reason that they're trying to get out of debates. There's a reason that they're keeping us in our houses and preventing us, from being around one another and sharing this information. Now, something else I want to try. As you guys know, I'm streaming to you here with a program called Streamlabs. Let me adjust to get a little bit better of a view since I'm going to get into comfort zone here. And on Streamlabs, I have a remote control app. Okay? And on this app, hold on. I'm trying to, someone else here sent me a message. Yeah. If you smell what The Rock is cooking, you know the thing 2020. You know the thing. That was terrible. That was absolutely a disgraceful thing. But what I want to do here is I want to try something out while we're live. I have a remote here, so I should be able to, without at all using any sort of thing, I should be able to switch between where we are now. Uh-oh. And, ready? It worked! Alright, tell me if you guys can hear it. Can you hear the games when I do this? We're going to go ahead and play some games. What kind of games do you want to see here today? Knowing that there is every single game that you could imagine on this system right now in console form. We're going to say from the N64 backwards. Well, we'll say from PlayStation 1 and N64 back. I have just about everything. Although I don't have everything on PlayStation 1 and N64. Mortal Kombat. Let's take a look at Mortal Kombat. Again, another phenomenal example. This is going to have low volume, and I apologize. If it's too low and it's terrible, I'll play just one match, and we'll head on out. But just to try to show you guys, talk about diversity. You're going to see some diversity in this game. Because they are lying to you. They are lying to you. Look at this. Look at this diversity. Jade is black. Jax is black. Shiva has 4 arms. He's Asian. He's a cop. We gotta pick the cop. We know he's evil. I don't think my buttons are gonna be set up the right way either, so we might not get through a whole match of this.
Round 1, fight.
No, my buttons are not set up the right way. Hey, you guys remember what I said the secret was to Mortal Kombat? A good jump kick. But obviously, it's not that much of a secret because this guy's aware of it too.
Fight.
Also, spamming special moves is a great secret here.
Wins. Round 3. Fight.
Son of a bitch. Here we go.
Finish him.
Fuck, is he gonna kill the cop? No, he didn't. But had I won, I was not gonna do a fatality simply because I did not want to promote police violence and police fatalities against citizens. But I didn't know it's a stretch on that one, but I just had to let you know. Now, look at this, Namco Classics. Again, more games, all different types of games from all around the world. Different people, different thinking, different eras. No rewriting of history, people. Embrace your past. Embrace history. Look at this. Knuckleheads. Look at all these different types of people. Alright, this is clearly a Japanese game. So we're going to take a look at this. I have no idea what this game is. I've never looked at this game a day in my life. Or if I have, I certainly don't remember it. I hate the bezel on this, by the way. This is a very shitty bezel, and I think this game is broken. It doesn't work. I'm going to go ahead and say that game didn't work. I apologize for wasting your time on that one. Oh no, it might have worked. My controller went off. We're back. Lucky and Wild. I mean, again, just think. Just think about our own pop culture. Think about movies. Think about who's been famous. Think about successful actors and actresses, people. This goes back years. Okay? We are a very diverse, very welcoming culture of people. Look, RBI base. Here we go. Perfect. Oh, look at this. The character you play as is a black guy, and he's fighting a green man with purple hair. Talk about diversity. Everyone is included. Even aliens. Let's go down. What's this? Nintendo Classics, Sega Classics. We got all kinds of stuff. SNK Classics. I mean, there are games here out the wazoo. Even still, I don't even know if there's any kind of game here I personally do want to jump in and get involved in. Let me take a look at some comments because I haven't been looking at them. I've been looking at the screen. What do we have here? You Know the Thing 2020 was the last one that I remember looking at. All right. We got Ryan Pitts. I used to fuck people up on Xbox 360 and hit him with an 8-piece combo with Stryker. Well, Ryan, as you just saw, I am clearly not very good with Stryker. He was not my main, to say the least. Running was the best thing in that game. Very true. Running is very important in Mortal Kombat 3 or Ultimate, 100%. Heather, hey, someone was pointing out that Michael Jackson had cues in his Netherland property, so he could have been a safe haven for children. I'm going to go against that. I'm in the group of people that I believe Michael Jackson was a child predator because I saw the Forgetting Neverland or whatever the fuck that series was on HBO. Holy crap, that was tough to watch. But more importantly than being tough to watch, it was very real, and it involved like grooming people and their families. Like he was grooming these people's families. He was highly manipulative. He took kids basically right out of their homes, right out of their families. But just know, you know, it's a very different situation. You know, never saw it. Heather, if you saw it, you wouldn't think he was protecting children in any way. in any way. I tell you that for sure. But a couple things. Give me some suggestions here. What do you guys want to see? What do you guys want to talk about? Throw a video in the chat. Then maybe. Maybe not. Yes, absolutely. I'd love to be able to watch that one day, but it's an HBO show, and I know that we would get a copyright strike by playing that. So I'm not even going to try. But I'm asking for a suggestion from you guys. Drop a video in the comments if you want me to play a video. Suggest a game if you got a game that you think I should play. Texas Instruments games. Come on now. We got everything here. I'm going to go up and I'm going to go to one of my all-time favorite systems with excellent games. And it was portable, and that's Game Boy Advance. Now again, talk about diversity. One of the first video games to come out on regular Nintendo was Metroid. People, who is the main character of Metroid? Say the name in the comments if you know it. I'll give you 25 seconds for a delay. If you know the name of the main character from Metroid, spoiler alert, they're in Smash Brothers. Put it in the comments. Battle Roads, what system pits? And who is the main character of Metroid? Frogger was my favorite. Frogger is a great game. A little slow, but I like Frogger. Don't get me wrong. But, let's go to Metroid, right? One of the main... Samus, there we go. Samus. Oh, Toad's Battle Roads. That's what you're talking about. Battle Roads. Okay. But, Samus is the main character. And guess what? Samus is a woman. Samus is a woman, people. You forget this, though. But one of the first video game protagonists, and one of the, not one of the first, but one of the first Nintendo game protagonists, who was the most regularly available video games she's battled. It was a woman, people. Our country is not sexist. Our country is not racist. We have always been inclusive. Zelda might be about a man saving a princess. But at the end of the day, in later games, like Smash Bros., Zelda is playable, and she's a beast, and she can hold her own. And she's also a key character. She's not the protagonist, but she's a key character nonetheless. I mean, take a look at some of these games. By the way, this game here, just to give a recommendation, Metroid Zero Mission. I have a great game save on my Pi 3, so I'm not going to start this now. But this game is a remake on the Game Boy Advance of the original Metroid, and it's phenomenal. Midway Secret Arcade. Yes, we don't want that. Mike Tyson Boxing. Again, also one of the main characters of one of the most popular and most successful games of the 8-bit era, Mike Tyson's Boxing. People, he was the main character. He was on the cover, a black man. He was never treated any differently because he was black. He was the greatest fighter. And guess what? He didn't get a rape charge because he was black. He got a rape charge because he was outrageous and he was tremendously successful. And whether or not he raped that person, I don't know. If he raped her, great. If he didn't rape her, it's because someone was trying to take his money, not because he was black. So either way you look at it, it had nothing to do with that. But you know what? He was on the cover of one of the most important video games in history. And yes, as far as Zelda, she's stronger than Link. Exactly, because she has powers. Link is just a regular person with a sword and a shield and some gadgets. Zelda actually does some ill shit. Just unfortunately, she was no match for Ganon. Let's see what else we have here. Monster Jam. Should we talk about Monster Jam? And how there's been drivers of all different races, trucks representing all different cultures? People forget culture is important, people. We respect everyone else's culture. We respect the culture of Japan. We respect the culture of China. We respect the culture of every other country on the planet. Yet American culture gets no respect. Why is that? People think that if you come to America, you shouldn't assimilate. Immigration without assimilation is... Oh my God, there's a word for it. Look it up. Somebody tell me what that last word is. Immigration without assimilation is... And then there's a word. I'll look it up right now, actually. Immigration without assimilation. Damn it, only it's use my mic on one thing. Immigration without is an invasion. That's what it is. Immigration without assimilation is an invasion, people. Okay? That's why they convince you to hate your culture. That's why they convince you to hate America. Do not go ahead and do what these Americans do. People, this is our country. Okay? Not Ganon, but really Ganon's other forms. Yes, exactly. An invasion. Rami got it. Oh shit, there are some comments on the screen that I'm not able to see for some reason in my side chat here. I don't know why. Let me go ahead and refresh the chat. And then let me also go ahead and maximize this screen. Nobody post a comment for a few seconds so I can get caught up. Heather, I already did. I was in a head-to-head with one of my husband's friends last night about Biden being a pedophile. That was an old comment. I don't know how that came back up here unless you reposted it. But, wait, the stream is no longer picking up the correct chats. DuckDuckGo is better than Google. Absolutely. Hold on here, guys. We're going to fix the chat box right now. Source. This is not working out the way I wanted it to. Very upset about this. I have erased the chat box, people. I don't know what I did here. We're going to go like this. Then we're going to come back. Somebody drop in a chat. See if it shows up on the screen. If it doesn't, we got work to do. Hello. It is not showing up. This is a problem, people. Visual settings. Hold on. Always show messages. Let's try boxed. No, let's try clean. You know what? If someone wants to jump over to From the Bottom of the Rabbit Hole and try a comment on YouTube and see if that shows up, I would greatly appreciate it. And if it doesn't show up and I don't talk about it, that means I'm not seeing it anywhere. Send me a message and tell me your YouTube comments aren't showing up. I'm very unhappy with this. Rutrow, yeah, that's the truth. That is the damn truth. So this is something that needs to be handled then, and I don't know how to fix it. Test, no. I'm seeing it, Steve, but it's not showing up on screen. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to... one more time. You know what? Not even. Hold on. I'm going to try this. YouTube comments not working. Neither are Facebook comments at this point, guys. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to shut down. I am going to shut the program down. I'm going to restart the computer, and we're going to try this one more time. Be on the lookout for a stream with